I'm unstoppable. Forget your defense, nothing but an obstacle. Run it back, switch it up, call it audible. Serving up them Hail Marys till the game over with the showstopper. So hot, you gotta blow on it. I said I'll huff and I'll puff, then I'll pass to my left while I'm looking to my right. Hit him right in the chest. It be looking like magic. Better give me the throne. I ain't talking about Patrick, but I rep my home. I'm never at the end of my zone. I'm bad to the bone. Eating up these pig skins like they chicharrones. And you a douche cabron. Mira, mira at the mirror on the wall. I'm the greatest of them all. They gon' put me in the hall. Your name is only written in a bathroom stall. Quit your stalling and make a play. My drive too long. Pop the clutch, I don't pump the brakes. I know what it takes to gain the muscle, get rugged. These butterfingers be fumbling. Squash the scrimmage and rub it in Robitussin. How I give them concussion. They seeing double, they rushing and pass the shovel. The dirt and rubble, I bury them under it. Stay in your huddle and get 10 yards back. Never turn your back. I'ma pull your flag. I go full contact. Out punch, out kick like a shotgun blast on one out snap. It's a fact that I'm unstoppable. Forget your defense, nothing but an obstacle. Run it back, switch it up, calling audible. Serving up them Hail Marys.
Yo, what's up? What's up? It is the Horseshoe Mob podcast. Apologies for the delay. We had some technical difficulties. Apparently Restream wants to tell us who can be on and when and how life works around here. So we apologize for that, but we are live. Welcome to the Horseshoe Mob podcast with my boys Josh Senior, Austin Cook. What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
Oh, we're surviving. We're surviving. It's the dog days of summer, the final stretch before we get into football season, right? Where June is upon us. We got June. We basically 45 days, 60 days until training camp. A little under 60 days. So this is what we call the dog days down here in Texas. We got college baseball. If you're not an Aggie fan, you know what that means this time of year. Um, but yeah, that's what we're doing. Cool. Josh, how are you, man?
I mean, I was pretty good for the season to begin until we got the news of our owner passing. I think me and Austin, Austin was screaming last week, and once
Yeah,
we got off, that's when we noticed we got word of that, and
yeah,
try to bring bring your spirit up in the midst of that. But it's just been difficult with this information. With them passing in his sleep and not being able to celebrate this incoming season. So I try to be, bring my spirit up, but nevertheless, football is upon us. I think we got 99 days before
sure.
football, so I get there.
Quick question for you guys, and you guys can answer individually. What did Jim Irsay as the Colts owner mean to you, like growing up? Like Jim Irsay as the Colts owner is all we've known, right?
Yeah.
What has that meant to you guys and like your fandom as a Colts fan and his presence within the organization and the franchise? What has that meant to you?
You go ahead, Austin.
I mean, for me, he's like always doing giveaways. He seems to always was giving money to people that needed it or just want it. I mean, he started the taking the stigma for mental health. I feel like he had a good heart for people in need. Uh, I feel like Indianapolis loved him. He loved Indianapolis. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's. I mean, like you said, that's all we knew as the owner of the Colts is him. So it'll
yeah,
definitely be different.
for sure. What about you, Josh?
Uh, he means a lot. He brought winning to Indianapolis. He made it a football state. And brought winning. Brought winning a winning culture. It hasn't been happening for the past couple of maybe a decade or past couple of seasons. But when he got here, under his tenure here in Indiana, I think it's like 36, 37 years in Indiana. All he wanted was to win. He
Yeah,
loves his team, loves his players, loves the community. That meant a lot. Like Austin said, a lot of charity that he um, gave to. I think it's over 100 million that he didn't give with to charity to give back to the people that gave to him, uh, and that mean a lot. I know, like I said, I know things have happened in the past where we didn't win and things that just didn't sink. But
Yep.
Ursay himself was a guy that we all appreciate. We're gonna miss him.
Yep. 100%. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's interesting, like that whole thing, right? It's you know, Jim Irsay is more than just the owner of the Colts, and we all know this, like the impact he's had across in the community, and it'll be interesting to see like what his daughters bring because there's a level of passion that Jim Irsay has that a lot of owners probably around the league that we see anyway don't have. Like a lot of people know from the outside looking in, a lot of people know Jim Irsay as like the guy who's whatever he does with the spare time drug wise or any issues that he has or the alcoholic, right? I don't see what we've seen. The guy nobody talks like about Jim Irsay the way they should. The guy that brought passion to Indianapolis, the guy who's raised $30 million in charity just for fighting mental health, right? Like I don't know a lot of people. Forget like NFL players. I don't know a lot of people brought that amount of money to battle one cause that meant so much, right? And I think it's important to talk about. I don't think that's talked about enough. I think that's kind of what I remember the most about Jim Irsay is essentially like the guy and the impact that he's had on the game outside of football, and what he's been able to drive in this community. So, listen, shout out to the Irsay family, thoughts and prayers. We're all hurting as a community, but especially like his legacy on this franchise will be forever remembered. Like this is our childhood, right? Like this for us, the three of us specifically, this is what we grew up on. And like you
Hmm.
said, Austin, it'll be very interesting to see how things are moving forward because we've truly flipped the page, right? Like this is the new era of Colts football. And we probably won't see any changes this year just because we're so late. But next year, yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how this team is run under the daughters of years of Jim Irsay. So
Is it So I think is it Carly? They said yeah, Carly Gordon is going to be one
yeah,
that.
Carly's going to be the one that takes over football operations. Now, depending on what team you support, that means a completely different thing, right? Depending on if you're a Mavs fan, sports operations is apparently a different job in the world. That means you have no control and your GM can do whatever the hell they want. But hopefully, in football, that means you know she operates the football side and she has say in what happens to the team. And Chris Ballard doesn't become Nico Harrison and trade away Jonathan Taylor tomorrow for uh, for for potato chips, right? So we'll see. We'll see what that means. Um, but yeah, real quick before we get started, as always, fanbattlesports.com. Fanbattlesports.com, where you can get the latest and greatest from the AFC South, including the Texans, the Colts, the Jaguars, the Titans. I was just, while we were having our technical difficulties, went in and was talking to our Texans fan battle guys. Their hosts left, so I went in and talked a little bit of my mess because that's what I do. They're busy over there. Just to give you an update, they're crying about why CJ Stroud isn't throwing in OTAs. That is their new thing to worry about. So in case you were curious about what other fan bases are doing this time of year, we're worried about OTAs all of a sudden. And I actually have some thoughts on OTAs since we're going to talk about that. So fanbattlesports.com. Find us all there. Go to the website. Find all of our. We will have a Substack coming, and you can find all our latest episodes, articles, all the good stuff fanbattlesports.com. Of course, don't forget to follow us at Horseshoe Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Of course, if you're here in the live stream, like the video, comment on the channel, subscribe. Helps us out tremendously, get more viewership in the Colts Nation um, viewership area. That's not really a thing, but just get us out there, right? Help us get out there. We want to grow this show. We want to be a part of this community, so help us do so. All right, Josh, what do we got first on the list?
We already went, honoring our guy, the boss, big guy. They got the. We saw that they're doing a private um, ceremony. I think June 2nd.
Okay.
And they're also going to be having a patch on the jersey. I saw some pins that people that the media were having. I wish I could have one of those pins. It would mean a lot. So they're hearing us. I need that pin to put on my shirt to honor the great Uncle Jim.
Yes, sir.
But other than OTAs, we saw the quarterbacks throw today. Saw guys back at work ready for the season. So,
Yeah.
what's your take on that?
I have a question for you guys because
Yeah.
I don't want to be the negative one, right? I don't want to be the negative one, but I have a question for both of you.
All right.
I was talking to somebody that's really, really close to me. That someone may or may not, right? That someone may or may not. That someone may or may not live in this house. That
Hmm.
someone may or may not be my wife. Uh, it is my wife, and she was showing me this stat from Cleveland Browns OTAs. What do you guys think this stat showed?
Was he talking about the quarterback when it was like 4 for 4 or something like that? Or
Yeah. You know what I told her?
what?
What do you think I told her?
We don't care.
Who cares?
It
Listen,
ain't.
this is
Yeah.
my thing about like OTAs, off-season like off-season workouts, like sweat fest, whatever the hell you want to call it, right? I just don't care. Like I don't care that Anthony Richardson threw a 5 yard pass today. I just don't care. I don't care that he went 10 for 10 on a 5 yard drag route or whatever route people are running. I don't care about it, that the stats, right? What I do care about is did his passing form get better? Is he planting his foot correctly? Is he spreading out his hips like he should be on some of those like shorter throws that he hasn't been doing in the past? What does his form look like? Has his form improved from last year to this year? What has he
Yeah.
been working on? Are we seeing that in practice, right? Because practice makes permanent. Um, that's what I care about. I don't care that Anthony Richardson went 5 for 6 and threw 18,000 touchdowns in May. So
Yeah.
that's kind of my whole thing on OTAs. I just don't care.
I don't have a problem with that comment that you're saying because fans can get too high and get too low. High meaning, yeah, you say throw a 5 yard pass, the spiral was nice, tight end receiver caught it and went untouched for 50 yards. The low is AR overthrows a guy and he sucks. He's gonna be trash. He's gonna get cut. We're gonna get Arch Manning. Those are the
Yep.
low, and is there's no in between. It's always we got the guy that we drafted at 4th overall. Then it's this guy sucks. He's never gonna get better. Daniel Jones, good luck with Daniel Jones. We could be tanking for the season. It's always this type of fan base in when it comes to OTAs. I know every other team does the same thing, but particularly with us in our quarterback situation right now, and everybody, some people are not liking it. Anthony Richardson, some more still trying to um, hang on for hope, and with OTAs. You're gonna see some wild throws. You're gonna see some incompletions. You're gonna see interceptions, but take it for a grain of salt. Don't take it as that this is going to be his season. This is going to be preseason. Um, so I agree with you saying. What you got on that, Austin?
Yeah, like I agree. OTA stats don't matter. We just want to see improvement in everybody, not just AR, but like the defense. We want to see what they look like and see if they're improving. We want to see our receivers not dropping balls, our tight ends not dropping balls. We just want to see improvement. The stats mean nothing. Like you said, it's May. Who cares what the stats are right now?
I mean, he can go 100 for 100 in May,
Right.
and
And he
then
has 50% in September, and then it's the end of the world.
yeah. So yeah. Although it's football and we haven't seen it, is I look at it, I view it. I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
The form is nice, the hips are nice, the feet are nice when
Yep.
he's in a pocket. So I'm okay with that.
But does it look the same tomorrow than it did today?
It's probably. I
Does
mean,
it look better? Does it look worse? Like that's what I care about. Like,
Yeah,
dang, he placed his hips. Again, I'm not like a QB savant by any means, stretch of the imagination, but hey, he was at 108 degrees when he threw this drag route today. Is he at 185 tomorrow? And that's why he over like that's the stuff. Because if you can't breed consistency today in May, then we can't expect you to breed consistency in the heat of the moment during the season when it's fourth and goal and we need a first down or we need a touchdown to win the game. And you have to throw a 5 yard drag route, right? Like I care about form, I care about consistency today because that's what helps us win in December and January is consistency. So that's my whole take on like OTAs. Like really as a whole, I give a rat's ass about OTAs. I really don't. Like cool, it's nice to see guys out there again, but yeah, I just don't care about OTAs as a whole.
I agree.
It's cool because it's closer to the season.
Yeah, I think it's cool. Like, it's fun to get more videos of your
Yeah,
players that you like to watch. Like,
for
I enjoy
sure.
seeing it, but like this, like I said, the stats don't matter.
Yeah. It's nice to see the guys out there again. It's like the first it's really like our first taste of like, yeah, training camp is right around the corner.
Yeah, like Josh said, he said that AO is gonna be just fine, bros. He said good evening. Sean said good evening. Or hey guys. Yeah, I don't want to get too hot. I don't want to get too low. I just want to be in the middle between just seeing the video, seeing that these guys all put in the work. That's all that matters for me. That we are trying to become a better team. We're taking the next step. And I think Shane Steichen said that we're trying to win for our owner. Whether that's Super Bowl, whether it's winning more games than we won the past two seasons, whether it's winning the division. We're trying to win for our owner. That's what everybody is. That's the goal right now. I don't know if that's going to happen, but we just gotta,
Josh, can I be the pessimist again?
go ahead.
Why aren't we trying to win because we want to win?
I guess it's just an added motivation. I mean, we should want to do it. Everybody should want to do that now as a team without having things this hanging over your head that okay, well we need this is what we need to get to the top now because
Yeah.
our owner this is what he wanted before he passed. So now we want to play. It should have been like that before that.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm coming off as the pessimist tonight, right? I hate OTAs. We should want to win because we want to win, not because the owner just passed, right? Like in my world, I live off this world of perception, and perception is reality. And the perception that I have from comments like this is we're going to win for him this year, right? Like to me, that says we're not like rest his soul, right? 2 weeks ago, we're not going to win because of Jim Irsay, but because this event occurred, just like maybe it's just like the way that's said, we're going to do it for him. Like it comes off as like now that this event occurs, now we're going to start winning. Like that's the way it sounds to me. I know that's not what it means, right?
you're right.
But that's the way it sounds. Instead of saying, look, we were fired up about this season already, this gives us extra motivation. These guys need media training. These guys need Shane Steichen once again needs media training. Maybe that's what it is. Like you got to think about the things you say because there's losers like me in the fan base. Yes, I'm calling myself a loser. I'm also calling you others that think the same way I do, also a loser. That think, no, wait a minute. We've been mediocre for 10 years, and this is what it took for you to be better. You weren't fighting for your owner before, but now that this event occurred, man, we really have to do it for him. I get what he's saying, but at the same token, the pessimistic side of me, because we've been so mediocre for so bad, is why did it take this event for you to make those comments? And why wasn't it repurposed to say, man, we were really fired up, but listen, we've got an extra set of motivation on our eyes because we want to do this. We also want to do this for Jim because this is the culture that he brought was a winning culture. We want to have that same attitude, motivation, whatever the case may be. Does that make sense? Am I weird? Am I just rude? Am I the asshole for that?
Well, I won't say asshole. You've been dealing with a lot, as a fan of different sports. You mentioned with the Luca thing. I know that's kind of got you, in the headspace right now, and I get it. That's tough. And I'm not saying that it's spilling over to the indie side. I get it. All of us haven't seen a winning. We've seen winning seasons where 9-8 and 8-9, but we just never have. We haven't won a division in what 10 years? Is it 10? 14? 10,
Is it 11 going into this year now?
11, yeah, 11 years going into this year now. We haven't won week one. We haven't won in Jacksonville in 10. Is everything's been pretty much a decade since we've done something significant, and it's been a lot of fans are just tired of it. That should be the motivation, not the wording was wrong. The wording was, I get what Shane is saying, but the wording was like, now we're gonna win for, now we have to win for our owner, our late owner. Should have been already built in. This is third season
Exactly.
or fourth season as head coach. Quarterback is on his fourth season, or third season. I'm
Yep.
sorry. So yeah, third season for the quarterback and the coach. And then other players, Kenny Moore been a long time. Buckner, everybody should have their own built-in motivation for the season, because it can be taken away from you. And we just saw that with the owner that was, rich. All his everything that he'd done in over 30 years or as owner is gone. It just got to be passed on to his daughters, and we don't know what's going to happen. Fans were saying that now that Carly or Kaylin or the other, I can't remember the other daughter name. Now that they're taking over, we can see a change of GM. We don't know that. We expect it, but we don't know that. We don't know if they're saying, "Hey, we're going to give you another chance,"
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
they're saying, you got a short leash. You got 8 weeks to audition for your job. Otherwise, you're out of here. We
Yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
that.
Well, yeah. No, that's a great point. Like we don't know if in season moves are a thing with Carly and this regime, right? Like we you're right. Like if this team is 2-6, 8 weeks in, we don't know. Like Jim Irsay is like, yeah, we'll wait it out because that's who he is. Carly
Yeah.
could say, screw this. Like it's been 10 years and now we're 2-6, 8 weeks in. Screw this, we're done. Like we'll just wipe ourselves off with it and we move on. And you know what? If that's what happens at 2-6, I would be completely okay with that. I would be like, finally, a sense of urgency to actually win.
If we're 2-6, we better clean house.
Yeah. No, we shouldn't wait until, we shouldn't hold a press conference and bring in Jeff Saturday. Like, we shouldn't bring in Peyton Manning or be like, Peyton Manning, comes in this press conference like, hey guys, this is the moment I've been waiting for. Now I'm going to be like the internet. I don't want any of that. We're
Yeah.
2-6, 8 weeks in. Bench AR, start whoever, Riley. I don't care if you start Riley Leonard, clean house, and we cut our losses and move on, right? Uh,
So my
I would hope
question,
that's the sense of urgency that this regime brings.
well, right now, like you said, being that things are unknown, because right now they're just focusing on burying
Yeah.
their father. At
Yep.
that moment, yeah, business still could run as usual, but we don't know what emotions that will run through. Um, and what this is with the third owner, that's a female. I think you got Adam, not Adam, Amy Shonks. I can't say her last name. I might be botching that last name. Who else is that's a female owner?
Oh, for the Titans.
No, yeah, her. She owns the Titans, and who else? That's another. I think it's another female owner. The
Is it?
Saints.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, the Saints. She's a NFL owner. Benson. I can't remember her. Benson.
Gail
She,
Benson.
yeah. So I think it's like right now
Gail.
three owners. So we don't know. Amy. We saw Amy, and she got rid of she, Mike Vrabel. She got rid of Rand Cawthon. So she
Yeah.
didn't. She don't play. We don't
She's
know if
not
that's going to be.
waiting. Yeah,
Yeah, she ain't waiting. So
I love
um,
that. See, that's what we need. We need people to not wait.
right.
Um, what's the other one? Oh, Kim Pagula for the Bills.
Yes, I couldn't remember her name.
Yeah.
So four female owners. And for her, she got a good foundation, quarterback, head coach. So right
Yeah,
now
she
she's
she
not.
was she was gifted amazing. Like she
Yeah,
was gifted. She inherited greatness, right? Well,
yeah,
she inherited really good.
yeah.
So,
So yeah, it's. I mean, we don't know what's Carly identity. She had the same path as her dad did because her dad was like a GM at 20 something and
yeah.
became an owner at 32.
Yep.
So
How old is Carly?
I think she's maybe in her. I can look that up. Uh, I know you researching as well, but she's probably young as well too. Not at the age her father was, but she's probably in that her 40s maybe.
She's 43. I mean, she's not. She's like 5 years older, so she probably is a little bit more
Okay,
experienced.
and she's just been on. She's been part of all three of the daughters are owners. It's just one of them gonna have to be the governor, and that's
Yeah,
her. That's her.
governor. God, I hate that title. All right, yeah, I'm done about talking about governors and whatever weird titles we come up with in the sports world these days. You guys got anything else on Jim Irsay? Any final thoughts? I know TAs.
OTAs. I just want to see the quarterback get better.
Yeah,
I just want to see the quarterback get better. That's it. That's my final thought.
awesome.
I said what I needed to say.
Cool. All right, guys. So it sounds like last week you guys talked about season predictions in a different aspect, right? You guys talked about like essentially, uh, you know, bold predictions. I guess we could say. Real quick, just to kind of get my mindset in the right space. What did you guys have as your like big season predictions for this year from a player perspective? I believe is what the conversation was, right?
Um, from what I had, I got to go back and take a look at the numbers that I have for Alec Pierce. I think he have a big year. I think
Yeah.
this is his contract year, right?
Yep.
Am I right on
Yep.
that?
It is a
So
contract year, Alec. Yep.
I think that he will make a similar impact that he made last year, um, which was a decent season. I think he had over 800 passing. I mean, 800 receiving, 800 and maybe 40 or something like that, 30 something receiving
Yep.
yards, 7 touchdowns. But he only had like maybe 30 receptions. So I kick it up a notch, and I said that he'll have between 42 and 48 receptions. Still not
Okay.
a lot
Hmm.
because I got other weapons. You got a tight end that you got to need the touches as well.
Yep.
Um, Receiving yards around the same, 850 to 985, close to 1,000, will
Yeah.
which is impressive for a guy that's pretty much is a deep threat only. Would you call him?
The 9 route merchant. Yeah, my guy, the 9 route merchant.
and
Here's a question I have for you in that prediction.
yeah, go ahead.
The ball can only go so many places, right?
Yeah,
Who loses targets? Because now you have to feed a real number one target as well.
who gets the targets?
Who loses
Well, obviously lose
targets?
targets. Um,
Michael Pittman.
yeah, Mike Pittman and possibly Josh Downs, but I think he'll use him a lot as well too, since they got the chemistry. So Pittman,
So does that mean Anthony Richardson's going to throw the ball even more? Because the math has to add
yeah,
up, right? If Alec Pierce is going to get 18 more catches, one of two things has to happen. Either A, Michael Pittman gets less targets. B, Anthony Richardson throws the ball even more, right? Or C, 9 route merchant learns more routes and catches more balls in different ways.
which is a possibility that Alec can be uh,
Yeah.
more efficient, learning more routes in that route tree. I feel like it would be
Yep.
more passing. I feel like with the more weapons, you don't get a tight end if you don't draft the tight end 14 pick if you don't want to pass the ball more. Um, I
Yeah.
think this is probably a more rounded offense that I've seen. We've seen the offense with Marvin Harrison.
The
We saw it
weapons.
with Brandon Stokely. We saw it with Dallas Clark, and then Reggie Wayne. We've seen that. We've seen this before, and all those got their
Yeah.
targets. So it can happen. It's just that you got to have the efficient quarterback and also consistent quarterback. So um, that's
Yeah.
going to be the unknown right now. with that part. But for us, are they going to be more run up team? They always been balanced, but are they going to be more in the air? So we'll see that too.
Yeah, no, I think that makes sense. But also like kind of like Josh in the chat there, right? How is JT get? I don't think I don't. I think JT could get just like over 1,000 yards, and I'd be more than happy if that means he has like
Because he had what 14
right,
yeah, he had 1,400 this past season. So yeah, 13 is not
right,
far fetched, but it might reduce with the other
yeah,
running back.
or maybe it's like 12, right? But he has like 30 less carries because we're throwing the ball more efficiently. I'm fine with that. I don't care. I don't listen. I don't care if JT has 2,000 yards. If we go 7 and 10, it doesn't matter
Empty
to me.
calories.
Like
Empty
no,
calories.
no, I don't care about any of that stuff. I want to win. I don't want to be stat beasts, right? I want to win
You
football
don't want to
games.
be Russell
Um,
Wilson. Russell Westbrook.
yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't want to be Russell Westbrook. I don't want to throw bricks everywhere, right? And then we get knocked out, and well, I'd be glad to make it to the second round of the NFL playoffs. That's actually pretty sick. But you know, whatever, right? I don't want to be that. I don't want Anthony Richardson to have 50% completion percentage and never make the playoffs. Like that would suck. So I guess that's the equivalent. But yeah, Austin, what are your thoughts? What was your big prediction for season breakouts?
Well, speaking of JT, uh, I had him just under 300 carries, which is less than he had last year, but I had him
Mhm.
5.7 yards per carry and like just under 1,700 yards with 12 rushing touchdowns. So I had a big year for JT.
1,700. Oh, at 5.5 yards. Like, how many carries is that? Did you say?
I think it was 297 is what
Yeah.
I put.
Okay, 297 at 5.5. Listen, if JT gets that and it averages 5.5
Well,
carries, that'll
I
be
think he said we said 1,600 yards, right?
1633.5. So let's just call it
Yeah.
1634. Right? How many touchdowns?
12,
That's what he had this year, right?
Pretty good.
Or 10
12
he had it.
rushing.
He had
Yeah.
10, 12. He had double this.
I think he had
Yeah. So
11.
yeah, same numbers, kind of. Just more rushing. Or
Do you think he gets more in the passing game?
oh, you're talking about, oh no.
Uh,
Oh, go ahead.
I think
Go
it's
ahead, Austin.
less.
yeah, I don't. He's never been a pass catcher,
Right.
so it's hard to say that he will just all of a sudden turn into one.
That's when you got
Gotcha.
it.
Okay. That's interesting. 1,600 yards, 10 touchdowns. Less on less carries than he had last year. Like if he can do that, averaging 5.5. Obviously, we're hoping the offensive line is healthier, and that helps, right?
Uh-oh.
Um,
Uh-oh.
Josh, you always got to steal my thunder, bro. We are about to get to 80 Mitchell, the best route runner on the team here in a second. Um, yeah, I think that's really interesting. Um, if he can provide that level of production, I think it elevates this team even more, and it actually makes the team even more dangerous. Because now you're getting even more production from Jonathan Taylor with less weight on his
Yeah.
shoulders. So
Go ahead. Go
here's my
ahead,
bold
man. Go
prediction.
ahead. Go ahead. Get into it, man.
I think AD Mitchell catches 35 balls. I don't know if he might get 500 yards. I think AD Mitchell has 10 plus touchdowns.
This
Here's
okay,
my
yeah, go ahead.
thing.
Explain that.
Here's my thing. I know AD Mitchell to be a very, 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 very good route runner, right? Where if the trajectory of Anthony Richardson is what we hope it will be, and the drag routes and the footwork and all that fun stuff we see is what we're hoping for it to be what we're hoping for it to be seen. AD Mitchell would be a red zone dog this year. And they will use AD Mitchell in a lot of different ways in the red zone, and a lot of different routes and a lot of different concepts. We already know that AD Mitchell's ability to get open was one of the best in the league last year. Right? The PFF stats show that, right? We've looked at him time and time again on this show, right? And so if you
Can I interrupt you? Can I
combine
interrupt you
that
just a split second?
with,
Can I interrupt you for a split second?
yes,
You're right. We know what he's capable of because we've seen against the Texans where he cooked one of the best cornerbacks in the league. And dang,
we don't even know
yeah,
his name.
from the Texans,
Yeah,
24. I just shot blanks.
whatever. Who cares what his name is? That guy, Stingler, whatever. Stingler.
Yeah, Derek Stingley. Yeah, he cooked him a couple of times on a couple of routes, but it was either overthrown or he either dropped a pass. So he got it in him.
Sure.
He got it in him. So
Yep.
yeah, I wanted to add that to your take. Go ahead.
Yeah. That's where my headspace is and you know what? I don't care if AD Mitchell gets 1,000 yards or 500 yards or 5 yards or whatever he gets, right? I think AD Mitchell's strength. If we look at the strengths of this team and this wide receiving core, you kind of have a little bit of everything, right? MPJ, whether you guys like it or not, I still don't think he's a number one wide receiver. I'm back to that.
I'm okay with
he's
that.
your like dog. Right? He's your dog, right? He's the guy that's gonna go do the hard work. He's gonna go do the tough stuff, right? That's just his role. That's where he excels at, right? Josh Downs, like he's your speed guy. He's your guy you can move in different places because of his speed. You can use him in the backfield. You can use him outside. You can use him in the slot. You can use him like in many different ways. And that's kind of like your jack of all trades, if you will, right? AD Mitchell's ability to get open is a skill that none of these other wide receivers have. Maybe Josh.
Josh Downs is close to
maybe Josh Downs, right? The other factor to this is we don't know what involvement Tyler Warren's going to have. Like we see Shane Steichen talk a lot about a lot of involvement. What I do know about Tyler Warren is I think he's going to get probably around 70 to 75 catches. And that's just purely off of the fact that he's going to be AR's bailout option. And we know that the bailout option for AR is more often than not the tight end position. And so if that's what those guys' role is, what is AD's role in all this? I think AD's role is he's going to be your red zone guy who runs really, really crisp routes, and they're going to find some interesting routes for him to run. And he's going to get open a lot. And if AR is improved, AR is going to get a lot of his touchdowns just based off of that, whether it's 5 yards out or 20 yards out from the red zone. I think there's a combination of all those things. So that is my bold prediction. I don't know if he gets 500 yards. Maybe it's 300 yards, but I do think he's going to score 10 touchdowns this year, at least.
Well, he's He's going to be the forgot guy in offense right now, and that's probably a good thing. It is a good thing because no one's going to be expecting him to be a big part or have a big impact in his offense because you added Warren. You got Josh Downs, like you said, and your safety net is Michael Pittman for now. Ella Pierce is your deep threat guy because our offense is based off vertical threats, deep threats. So Mitchell just had to find his way in his offense, which he can do it. Like I said, he's one of the greater or one of our best route runners in his offense. He just got to find his way, and he's good in, like I said, he's good at the deep threat. He's great in the middle of the field. It's going to be interesting how Shane add him in his offense. Last year he tried. It was just either rookie wall or just things, quarterback play, all that played in part of just didn't. Yeah, a lot of different things. It wasn't just him. This year,
for sure.
It seemed like he's. I'm not saying last year he wasn't happy. Of course, he wasn't happy with where he was drafted at. But this year, you see him smile and you see him happy, and that's probably a dangerous thing that you want him to be now.
It's comfort, right? I think he's just more
Yeah,
comfortable, right? Like, imagine that. When you start a new job, I like to compare everything to like our lives because guess what? We all kind of live that life, right? When you start a new job, right? What is it like the first 6 or 8 months? You just kind of get a feeler out there, right? You're just trying to see how things are. Like, what do people? How do people act? What people do I talk about? Like, who would I go to for certain things, right? Like, you're learning everything, right? And even like, and then the second half of that first year is like, okay, I know this. Now how do I start, this piece of it? And it's like, I know my job, I know people. Now how do I like kind of mend those two things
yeah,
together, right? And then after year one is when you're really like, okay, I get everything now. Now it's really focusing on how do I master my role, right? Like, and that's what year two is really about. Like, I think year one, there's a lot of feeling out. There's a lot of new coaching staff, new playbook, new quarterback, not the new quarterback, another quarterback, right? Uh, front office, whatever is going on there. Like, there are a lot, there's all this stuff in the media. I didn't get drafted where I wanted to. So there's a personal mental thing there, right? Or perception that there is. There's a lot of different things going on. And I think now this year it's like, okay, I get it. I'm comfortable. It is like I know how to deal with these things because I've been through it before. Now I can just go be me, right? Because at the end of the day, we know what his motivation is to be there, and so he knows how to take care of that. So I think we're gonna see a really really good. We're gonna see a very very good AD Mitchell this year, and we're finally gonna get the fruits to what we were expecting.
you
This year.
think Reggie Wayne will take up another notch for us helping his room out? You
Wait, say
think
that
Reggie
again.
Wayne would be instrumental in helping this group out because it's still a little bit inconsistent. Not a lot of people I know just say, "Hey, you guys got great receivers over there. We're not a threat. We're not scary. We're not a scary offense with those receivers." So, do you think that Reggie Wayne gives these guys an added set of motivations for as individuals? Because I mean, they all have their own way of fitting this offense. Like I said, we know what Mike Pittman is. We know what Josh Down can do. We saw that in ACC. We also saw what Mitchell has done with Texas and at Georgia, winning 2 championships. Um, and then Allen Pierce, being good at Cincinnati, it wasn't the best, but he was probably their best receiver on that team. But can we all put it together? And it just this is the year. Can we put it together? Because he been a receiver coach for 3 years, right? 4 years.
Yeah, it's year three. You know, Reggie Wayne said something interesting like a few weeks ago. Was it like last week or a couple weeks ago? He's just like, I don't know. Like before, he was just kind of doing this because it was kind of like a transitionary thing
Hmm.
for him, right? But now I think now he's like, hey, y'all gonna have to kick me out if you don't want me to coach anymore. I think that's the motivation for Reggie Wayne, right? Like now he's invested now, right? Like, and we know when Reggie Wayne's invested, how good he can
Right.
really be, right? He said something interesting where he said, "Hey, you guys remember my jump from year two to year three when like I finally, or year one to year two when he said he finally figured it out." I don't think it's motivation. I think it's experience and growth and learning, right? Like, what are these guys learning from his experiences being in their position, right? Um, being him being a being him his pressure was I can't let Peyton Manning look bad after Marvin Harrison is at that point like towards the tail end of his career,
Yeah.
right? Like his motivation is I have to be the next guy, right? These guys have to want it at the end of the day, and regardless of what he does to motivate them or whatever, they have to want to be good, and they have to want to themselves to take the next step. We think AD Mitchell will take the next step, but he also has to want to do it. We think Alec Pierce is going to do really, really well in the contract year, but they have to want to do it. Has to want to do that. So yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. I think the motivation. I think the change in Reggie Wayne um isn't more. I think it's less of is he motivated. I think it's more of he wants to do it versus it was something he did because he didn't know what that transition was from not playing anymore and the next step of his life.
Right.
I think that's the change. I think his self motivation and actual like he's bought into the process of being a coach now. Like that's different. Like when you like what you're doing, you're passionate about it. You tend to do better, right? When you're filling things out and you're just unsure, you're just like, let's just see what happens. Like I don't really know, but now he himself is motivated, and that's different.
The word you use, bought in, is what stood out in your context because
Yeah,
everybody has to buy in. Michael Pittman played through an injury, you know, down year, still have 800 yards, got to buy in. Alec Pierce, best year, still got to buy in. Eddie Mitchell, second
yeah,
year, got to buy in. Josh Downs been a consistent receiver since being drafted. Got to buy in. Then you add a guy 14 overall who's excellent. Who had a great season in college, one of the better tight end seasons I've seen in a while. Got to buy in. You add him to the mix. Then you're just adding more pieces to this offense. It just makes it more dangerous if everybody buys in. Put in the offensive line, the quarterback,
exactly.
your running backs able to block, keep your quarterback upright. All those things. So yeah, when you say bought in, that stand out for me. That everybody has to buy in, including your defense. You got a new defensive scheme. You got players that you added uh, in free agency and draft. Everybody has to buy in for this to be a successful season. Which successful season meaning making playoffs, win the division,
Yeah,
you know, getting far in the playoffs, not just first round.
yeah. And they all have their own motivations for doing
Yep.
so, right? So I think that's what it is. I think it's less of is he motivated and more of are people buying into his vision.
Yeah. I don't, because a lot of people I've seen a couple comments and they mentioned about the diabetes. It's nothing about the diabetes. It has nothing to do with that. It's just being comfortable, you know.
Uh,
So I don't care about that.
no, it has nothing. Um, like saying health is an issue is like these guys know what they signed up
Yeah.
for.
So
So yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with that. Yeah, I'm not bought in to the diabetes thing, right? Like I obviously I know I've watched JD Mitchell a little bit longer and I've followed him a little bit closer than most, right? Beyond
hey
before
Teresa,
his draft,
she
but
said
it's yeah, I don't think that's a factor.
we're sorry, Teresa. We just had some issues with our system. Restream is just being a little sassy tonight.
Yeah, a little
A little
goofy.
goofy.
Um,
She said, "Where's Ryan? He's on vacation. He's on vacation. He's enjoying the life with his wife and family. So he earned the right to be off and enjoy that. We all gonna have our moments as well too. So
you guys have anything else to add tonight? That's really all I've got.
that's it. All I have is I'm just excited for the season.
Yeah.
We don't know what to. I do have a question. Where do we get those pens? Those JI pens. I want that pen. I'm gonna have to get with a lot of people. Get with somebody. I don't know if it's gonna be on a Coach Pro shop or an NFL shop, but I want that pen. If anybody could uh, find a way to get that pen and email me, not email me, mail it to me. Uh, I pay the cost for mailing it to me. Just let me know. I need that pen. The pen is the not the patch, but the pen that's going to be worn. I guess the coaches, I guess the media is going to be wearing it. But I need that pen. So that's all I got.
I'm sure it'll be available on the Colt shop.
I hope so. I
But that is a cool looking pin.
yeah.
I just saw it. That is a cool looking pin. So, alrighty, guys. Well, let's wrap up. Let's get out of here real quick. Austin, where can the people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter X at Cookie Austin 2.
And Josh, where can the people find you?
You can find me on X at Who Is Josh Senior.
Find me at whatever you want to call it, Twitter, X, Elon's website, whatever the hell you want to call it. You can call me. You can find me at the Uncle Gandhi, and you can find us, of course, here every Tuesday night. We did a Wednesday show this week. We apologize. Every Tuesday night, 8:30 p.m. Central, 9:30 Eastern. It'll be the four of us, or the three of us, or a combination of us, and we talk Colts football every week. So if you guys like what you heard, like, subscribe, comment. If you heard after the show, comment below. Let us know what your big prediction is for the season. Your big bold prediction.
Oh, you got to go ahead and just elaborate on your season. I know you haven't been on real quick.
Oh, like what I think
Yeah,
for
you
the season.
predicted. I think you said 10-11, 10-6 with me, 10-7 with me. I think.
Yeah. If AR is average, I think this team's floor is 10-7. Like I think an average because I think last year he was below average. So if he's average, I think this team goes 7. And then every level above that just increases this team's like ceiling, right? Like if he is above average, this is probably 11-win team. If he's really really good, this is probably a 12-win team. If he's MVP level, this is probably a 14.
I agree.
That's but I probably start this at.
I-
If he's below average, then everybody gets fired and you start over.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Shane Steichen too.
Yeah, that's huh? Yeah, everybody's gone. Steichen, Ballard, Anthony Richardson, the equipment guy that gives Anthony Richardson his footballs. Everybody's gone. Like it was just clean house. The one thing that cannot happen is Anthony Richardson cannot go 3 years in a row being below average. He has to be at least average this year.
I agree.
Kind of how I see it.
Yeah, that's
If not, then we tank for Arch 2027, baby.
yeah.
Let's go.
Yes. Anything else, guys? Well, I'll let Teresa. Hold on. He said I want the pen too, so bad. She said, I have a lot of respect for Irsay. He did things no one knows of. He put us on a map. Rest in peace, Mr. Irsay.
It's almost like Teresa and I think the same
Yeah.
way. I said that at the beginning of the show. Jim Irsay has done a lot for football that people outside of the Colts that don't follow the Colts will never hear about.
I agree.
Right? But the $100 thing, where like anytime they went on a road trip or he went to a hotel, he used to give people $100 bills because he just thought that was the right thing to do. Right? Like nobody talks about stuff like that when it comes to Jim Irsay. We could talk about all this stupid stuff that makes the clicks. You know what would make clicks? Showing the video of Jim Irsay giving that hotel manager $100 when they stayed at that hotel that one road trip. I don't even remember what it is, but I remember seeing that. Like that's the stuff nobody talks about. Yeah, what he did for Peyton Manning, despite all the turmoil after he left Indianapolis, and he's like, and he basically was like, hey Peyton, like I want you, like you are a Colt. And here's the way that I show you you can take D-Jet to the Hall of Fame or the Hall of Fame ceremony. Like that's this, even, and that's like, hey, I get that our relationship might have been fractured or whatever you want to call it, but this is a moment that you deserve, and you were here for most of your career. You deserve to show up as a Colts, and this is how we're going to make that happen. Nobody talks about that kind of stuff. Right? I want to talk about him being on drugs for however many years. I want to talk about, whatever they want to talk about. But they don't talk about this other stuff that a lot of people, probably people that live in Indianapolis, experience that we don't even know about. So a great call out, Teresa. Excellent.
That's why we got to do that. We have to acknowledge the greatness instead of the negative things that being put out there by unknown sources that don't care about him being a human being, like as you alluded to. So yeah, thanks for that message. Well, guys,
All right. Yep.
we are going to get out of here, and we will return next week with a new purpose, or a better purpose. So on that note, guys, we're going to check out. We'll talk to y'all soon. Thank y'all for tuning in to tonight's show. But once again, rest in peace, Jim Irsay. Also, we're going to give all we're gonna make sure we support the new ownership and be there for them. So on that note, guys,
Yep.
have a good one.
On one out snap, it's a fact that I'm unstoppable.